side. And so actually, in response to Christine and Nancy, my work is like give another perspective, example of argumentation. And in the special context of the knowledge building, I won't put much time on the controversial issues about if there is argumentation in this context, but I just like assume like if knowledge building can be achieved through the collaborative argumentation. So basically, we want to provide another perspective, a little bit different from Christine's idea about argumentation, and also with another methodology, say like how can we approach and study argumentation in this kind of context. So first, I would like to introduce like why we argue, why we want to introduce argumentation in the collaborative knowledge building, and see like which aspect of argumentation. We know there are a lot of aspects to look at examine argumentation. So which aspect we're focusing, and is it profitable? As we know, like knowledge building is not only the epistemological process, but also a social process in which knowledge can be shared, shaped, modified, restructured, or amended. So learners should be put in an environment where we can discuss, share, evaluate, justify, or debate. We think like argumentation framework provide a good way to approach the analysis and implementation of a lot of online like CSCL discussions in order for us to understand how knowledge is built. From the literature, we can see like argumentation provide a lot of good examples, like in collaborative learning, for example, they can exposing social conflict, and they promoting community of practice, or facilitating shared understanding across group members. And as Christine just introduced, like certain aspect of argumentation, like we can, like traditional understanding of argumentation could be like analytical or formal logic ways. Like usually we understand like how those journal articles, like science and books, like there to try to prove a certain theory or formula. That's the traditional way we look at argumentation. And also recently we have the rhetorical or persuasive logic. Like we put learners and people in a group, and we want them to debate, and the purpose is to see the effect if someone wins, or we can draw some conclusions. But I think more and more people are now interested in the dialogic or informal logic of argumentation. So we just want to see what's the discourse there, and the dialogic argumentation is the social and the collaborative process used to advance knowledge, rather than justify or refute a particular standpoint, or as the articulation of informal reasoning. So dialogic argumentation emphasizes the collaboration over computation, and it suggests that activities that promote the dialogic argumentation can provide a context whereby individuals are able to use each other's idea to construct and negotiate a shared understanding of a particular phenomena in light of past experience or new information. So that's basically the perspective we take towards our study of the collaborative argumentation in the knowledge building environment. So basically, pretty simple, the research question is, like, what aspects of the argumentation play an important role in this knowledge building? So we sort of take like several aspects here. First is discourse moves, participant structure or discourse structure. That's used very often in these argumentation studies. So why, like we know a lot of studies about discourse moves. It's like the types of discourse involved. For example, like the traditional studies about communication, look at the claims, the rebuttals, warrants, and here we try to narrow it down in this collaborative argumentation environment. So we're looking at the claims, evaluation, questions, and information. And so previous studies usually look at, for example, like how much frequency is there, and who use this kind of argumentation often or less. And in addition to that, we are also interested in the participant structure because, of course, in a collaborative learning environment, like the learners is the focus of the study. How much involved in this kind of learning? So like Cindy, like I said, Cindy's work, the definition. But basically, what's the participant structure is the distribution of the functional aspects of the activity, including agency, authority, accountability, leading and following, initiating and handling, accepting, questioning, so on and so on. And so like one good example is like the SNA analysis. So we sort of take, we look at participants in a network. So how like the centrality of the participants, is he or she influential in the network? But we come up with the question, like we know the participants is important in this learning environment, but in an online situation, not only the participants, we also look at some notes, some discussion, like Echo Cindy's talk yesterday, like sometimes maybe some students just post 1 or 2 notes, but that might be a very important one. So how can we characterize these kind of notes? Maybe it's not like a star because like we want to promote the democratic of the online learning, but we really want to know like how the discussion, the discourse progress, and what's the characteristic there? How influential of certain topic in the online environment, and how can we not only qualify this kind of notes, but also quantify? So like not only like the experiment design, but we want to use certain quantitative methods to try to find the patterns there.